In this video, I want to talk about the lessons I learned from this incredible book called The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. I found this book to be instrumental in starting my YouTube journey, and the lessons from the book have been really helpful to me for publishing my videos every week. The book's tagline talks about creativity, but I strongly believe the book's lessons would be useful for anybody doing anything hard, like start a career, transition between jobs, or pursue a hard physical activity. I've been wanting to do YouTube for over a year now, but whenever I sat down to click publish, this unexplainable force of resistance would take over me. This would be fear of failure, fear of what other people would say, and whether I was qualified enough. But then when I used to go on long runs or pursue a hard physical activity, these cravings of doing something creative would show up again. Clearly there was this dichotomy between what I really wanted to do, which was YouTube, and this fear which was preventing me from jumping in and taking action. Steven talks about how this dichotomy is always present in us whenever we want to do something meaningful in our life. He talks about this being a fight between good and evil, the good being our capital S self, which is where we really want to be. We want to be kinder, hardworking people who want to be useful to others. But whenever we try to do hard things and want to live a meaningful life, this other force, which is negative, called the resistance of the ego, prevents us from doing things by giving us excuses. For me, it was procrastination, and the resistance took the form of fear. It could be addictions or it could be insecurities for other people. The book talks about how this is a never-ending war, and it shows up every day, so you have to fight it every day too. The stronger your urges to do meaningful things, the stronger the resistance force is. This happens for anybody trying to do meaningful things, whether it be the Pope, or the Dalai Lama, or the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. This framing alone was very useful to me, because it gave a name to something I was so confused about. The naming alone does not prevent me from procrastinating, but at least I know what I'm dealing with. Steven then gives a lot of frameworks to deal with this resistance, and I found 3 of them to be really useful. The first one was starting before you're ready. So when I started this YouTube channel, I was really worried about not being qualified. I had spent 10 years in corporate life, and the skill set for YouTube was completely different. So I thought I should take courses on writing, classes on cinematography, and read all the reviews of the cameras and buy the best one. This is how the resistance tricks us. It asks us to over-prepare when we could take baby steps forward. After reading the book, I published my first video, which is this really bad rendition of my favorite song, Nothing Else Matters. A few years ago, I would have never put myself out there and done it. Through the process of publishing, I learned the basics of audio making and audio editing. And since then, I have become a little better with audio with every video I uploaded. You start before you're ready, and then you figure things out as you go along. The second lesson I learned from the book is to turn professional. What Steven means by this is to show up like you would show up for your job, for anything that you do. When I started my YouTube journey, I did not have the same intentions and did not show up with the same energy I would if this was my full-time job. I did not have a cadence for publishing, and I did not have a setup for writing. Since reading the book, I have intentionally shown up to this hobby as I would do to my day job. I maintain a space for video capture, which I treat like a temple. It's very clean and well organized. These are small things, but they make a big difference. In my corporate life, one of the reasons the resistance does not show up as much is I have structure. I have a boss, I have accountability from my colleagues, and I have deadlines. If I had similar processes and structures in my hobbies or my personal goals, the book's point is that resistance would decrease. The third lesson I learned from the book is about self-validation. When I started my YouTube journey, the North Star was based on YouTube analytics. It was defined by the number of likes, subscribers, and the time watched. Since reading the book, I have tried to improve myself with every video I put out and not be overly worried about the analytics. I just want to get better at my craft each video, and the book's point is that the results would show up. You trust the process and not the end goal. I found other frameworks in the book to be useful, but they were not unique to the war of art, so I will not mention them here. A couple of things I was expecting from the book which I did not find were how to deal with opportunity cost and sunk cost from the framework of resistance. Doing something hard, like starting a business or even this YouTube channel, involves a lot of sacrifice. I would have loved the book to talk about that in terms of resistance. There was also not a lot of mention about the sunk cost. When would somebody give up on their dreams? How long do they have to work on it before the market tells us that they're not fit enough for it? Overall, the book is a wonderful read, and I would strongly recommend it for anybody doing hard things. I hope you liked this review. Thank you, and see you next time.